Welcome to the Leaders Academy podcast. Today's episode, why data culture fails before the technology does. Most data transformations fail, and in 2026, we're still watching companies pour millions into platforms they can't actually use. What's really going on?
The honest answer is that organizations buy technology as a substitute for change. They deploy Databricks or Snowflake, hire a dozen data engineers, and call it transformation. But if the finance director still emails spreadsheets to the CEO every Monday morning, nothing has actually transformed.
So the CDO gets the budget, builds the stack, and then hits a wall. Where exactly does that wall appear?
It appears at the moment of adoption. You can measure it precisely. We typically see 60 to 70% of licensed seats on enterprise data platforms go unused within 18 months of deployment. Gartner flagged this pattern consistently, and from what I see in boardrooms today, in 2026, it hasn't improved materially despite all the AI hype layered on top.
Give me a concrete example of a company that got this wrong and one that got it right.
A major European retail group I worked with spent roughly 40 million euros over 3 years building a cloud data platform. Beautiful architecture, solid governance framework. But they never changed how business units were evaluated. Managers were still rewarded for hitting quarterly revenue targets, not for data quality or sharing, so nobody contributed clean data. The platform starved. Contrast that with a mid-sized U.S. insurer, around 8,000 employees, that embedded data literacy scores into annual performance reviews. Within 2 years, their active platform usage went from 22% to 71%. Same vendor, completely different culture.
Performance reviews are one lever. What are the other structural changes that actually move the needle?
3 things consistently matter. First, decision rights. You have to codify who owns which data, not who manages the technology, but who is accountable for the quality of specific data sets. Second, language. When the CEO says, "Show me the data" in a meeting and actually waits for it rather than accepting gut feel, that signal cascades fast. And third, tolerance for being wrong. Organizations that punish people for surfacing inconvenient data findings destroy psychological safety around data faster than any governance policy can rebuild it.
You mentioned the CEO. How much of this lands on the CDO versus the chief executive?
The CDO can architect everything correctly and still fail without executive sponsorship that is behavioral, not just budgetary. I often tell CDOs that their first deliverable should not be a data strategy document. It should be getting the CEO to cancel one meeting where a decision was made without data and reschedule it until the analysis is ready. That one act is worth more than any technology roadmap.
Final thought. One thing a CDO listening right now should do this week.
Audit the last 10 significant business decisions made in your organization and count how many were genuinely driven by data. If it's fewer than 5, you don't have a technology problem. You have a culture problem, and that's where your energy needs to go.
To go further, Leaders Academy offers strategic training programs, diagnostic tools, and an executive self-assessment designed for CMOs, CDOs, CFOs, and leaders aiming for board-level performance. Explore everything at mba-training.com. Thank you for listening to the Leaders Academy podcast. See you tomorrow for another episode.